One of the country's leading all-inclusive hotel properties has pumped nearly $20 million into an upgrade. After a brief closure last year, the Sandals Royal Bahamian Resort on the Cable Beach Strip officially unveiled its newly relaunched Balmoral Tower today. Giovanni Stewart was part of the international press tour of the facility.
In its 17th year, the five-star Sandals Royal Bahamian Resort has invested more than $17 million to upgrade and expand its Balmoral wing, formerly the Manor Tower. The newly enhanced six-floor tower features 145 rooms, including 21 new butler suites, offering top-notch features like 4 poster beds, giant plasma screen televisions, French silk rugs and Italian tiles, a world-class gym, with stunning views of the waterfront. The upgrades came while the Balmoral Tower was closed following Hurricane Irene last summer. Sandals chairman Butch Stewart says though the industry was in a slump at the time, the goal was to be ready for the upturn.
If you wanted to fix the plumbing in one room, you had to switch off the water in all the rooms. The electricals had become old, etc. Old age at these buildings by the sea. So the hurricane came, we had to close, the gardens were a mess. We had to do all the re-landscape. We said, right, now is the time.
40 new permanent jobs were created as a result of the upgrade, including 9 new London-trained butlers, bringing the Nassau staff complement to just over 500. The beachfront Balmoral, a contemporary throwback to the splendor of days gone by, when the property was a popular rest spot for the rich and famous.
We wanted it the best and new, because that's what Sandals does for its customers. People don't want old buildings, they don't want old beds, they want fresh, brand new, but more and more better and better design stuff.
Occupancy is full at the new Balmoral Tower, and forward bookings at the all-inclusive resort are also looking strong. Stewart says the company's success could not have been possible without the support of the government. Meantime, Tourism Minister Vincent Vanderpool Wallace underscores the important contribution Sandals makes to the Bahamas' #1 industry.
We had this mistaken belief that somehow people who bought all-inclusives, they came into the property, they spent all their money on the property, and then they went back home. We then did a wonderful piece of research which showed, without question, that the people who come to this particular property, their expenditure outside the property is substantial.
And the investment continues here at Sandals in the Bahamas, with further refinements planned for the Nassau and Exuma properties. And I'm Giovanni Stewart, ZNS News.
The Royal Bahamas Defense Force held its annual church service at St. Barnabas Anglican Church Sunday evening, giving God thanks for the past year and seeking guidance for the year ahead. Minister of National Security Tommy Turnquest used the opportunity to outline the government's direction for the Defense Force and strategies to strengthen border protection throughout the country. Cyan Thompson reports.
National Security Minister Tommy Turnquest told members of the Royal Bahamas Defense Force that the government is pleased with the positive direction the law enforcement agency is moving in. Minister Turnquest explained that the geographical composition of our country challenges border protection management. However, he reiterated that the force maintains its success in patrolling Bahamian waters by apprehending illegal migrants, foreign poachers, and those engaged in drug trafficking and illegal firearms smuggling.
The Defense Force's decentralization strategy remains a primary focus. We will continue to develop the bases in Grand Bahama and Inagua, as well as the sub-bases in Abaco and Exuma, and I expect the base in Gunpoint, Ragged Island, to be operational this year. These bases allow the realization of the Defense Force's aim to maintain a continuous presence at strategic choke points throughout our archipelago.
The Ragged Island base will become operational this year. Minister Turnquest says this will serve as yet another deterrent to those seeking to violate Bahamian laws.
The new base being developed at Gunpoint in Ragged Island will allow the Defense Force to maintain a constant presence in the Great Bahama Bank area, one of our richest fishing grounds. The construction of the harbor is nearing completion and will possess the capacity to accommodate the Defense Force's 200-foot patrol craft, in addition to being able to facilitate mail boats. The base facility being developed will be able to accommodate up to 35 Marines.
Right now, there are 1,103 officers and Marines on the Defense Force. Turnquest states that the government realizes the need to increase this number and is doing so through recruiting qualified Bahamian young men and women. There are currently 62 recruits in training. If successful, will join the Defense Force in June, with more recruitment taking place in July. Cyan Thompson, ZNS News.
Former Police Corporal Donovan Gardner is expected back in court tomorrow for the substantive hearing on his constitutional motion. A jury convicted Gardner last month of the manslaughter death of Desmond Key. Following the conviction, Gardner's attorney Wayne Monroe filed a constitutional motion claiming his rights had been violated. Justice Vera Watkins will hear the matter Tuesday morning. Meantime, Gardner remains behind bars at the Fox Hill Prison. The Victor Sassoon Heart Foundation is appealing to the public for help in raising funds to assist children who need heart surgery. The foundation foots its medical bills, but executives say the organization is in a financial crisis due to the rising number of children seeking help. Here's Fern Carey.
Thus, the Victor Sassoon Heart Foundation has been coming to the aid of children suffering from heart disease for over 50 years, and executives fear that for the first time in their history, they may be forced to turn children away due to budget constraints.
We've never had the numbers that we've had this year. Normally in a year we do 10 to 12 surgeries on children who have these problems. This year we are already over that number, and we're only our fiscal year runs from the end of June till the 1st of July. So we are in the middle of our year really now still, and we still have several months to go, and we've already spent our budget for the year.
Meantime, Barnes says heart patients who do not get surgery will not be able to lead normal lives.
They might live into their teens or 20s, or some of them a bit longer, but they don't develop normally, and they struggle because the blood flow through their bodies isn't carrying the oxygen through that helps your brain work properly, and you can't go out and play like you'd want to. The stories of seeing these children come back now and seeing them healthy and running around and being like children, it's the most rewarding thing you can imagine.
And with heart surgeries costing up to $60,000 per patient, Barnes made this appeal.
If you can just give us $1. Have your children, one child, say you're a family of 5, send us $5. That will help. Anything will help.
Now, if you wish to make a donation to the Sir Victor Sassoon Heart Foundation, you can call or stop by their office on Cable Beach. Currently, children from infant to teenagers are battling heart disease in the Bahamas, and many of them are said to be in urgent need of further medical care. Fern Carey, ZNS News.
Welcome to tonight's edition of the Business Beat, sponsored by Royal Fidelity. Good evening, Bahamas. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Let's take a look at what's making business news today.
Trans-Island Traders executive Mark Finlayson telling the local daily that the company is negotiating with 2 separate international groups over the purchase of a majority stake in the City Market's food store chain. City Market's weekend blowout sale is designed to clear all existing inventory. Bahama officials finalizing the design of its convention center. Resort officials told the local daily that the design and physical works behind the 2,000 square foot convention center should be serving as a recruitment and training center. From the International Business Beat, the world's largest package delivery firm, United Parcel Service, UPS, has agreed to buy rival company TNT in a €5.2 billion, $6.8 billion deal. The takeover is being seen as a move by UPS to expand its business in Europe. And a regional business, the Inter-American Development Bank is ramping up lending for private sector projects related to renewable energy and energy efficiency to help bridge the gap for long-term financing for green investments in Latin America and the Caribbean. Last year alone, the IDB approved $736 million in financing for private sector environmentally friendly projects. Remember, you can send us an email or join us on www.znsbahamas.com or become our friend on ZNS's official Facebook page.
And that will end tonight's edition of the Business Beat, sponsored by Royal Fidelity. I'm Altaviz Munnings. Thanks so much for watching.